Okay, so this is Terrorhouse. This is your evaluation feedback for question 1. So, okay, so you've got your title on there, but again, very difficult to read it because it's black on a grey background. So make that white or make that a different colour that stands out. Also, I would make sure that your spacing is looks better than that, because you've got a capital there, and that all comes off the mark, so I wouldn't be able to give you level 4 with something like that. It needs to be excellent, really, in the layout. Okay, so for a start off, there should be an introduction here. Don't just dive straight in. So in your introduction, you need to discuss why this is important in terms of using or challenging or developing forms of conventions. So the first thing you want to introduce is what is significant about genre conventions in terms of you being a media producer. So they establish the genre for the audience. The audience would therefore bring their expectations, which they would expect you to then meet, to give them, to satisfy them, to give them the pleasures they are seeking from your work. So genre for you as a producer is a way of knowing what to include in your film and what things are working in current trends. Second point you want to make is that you want to refer to Steve Neal and that idea of repetition and difference. You repeat the genre conventions so people are familiar with them, but you also need to change them every once in a while, otherwise the genre gets stale and boring and kind of trad. So again, what you're thinking about here is your introduction. Now what I've put in my introduction is, again, something like a thesis statement. Overall, have you used conventions, or overall, have you challenged or developed them? You would also want to include your mood board that you did for your research and planning, because that's an easy win and it's an overall setup for it. Good, you've named who did the tasks, which is good. You've got your side-by-side on here, and then we've got our tolerance. So to improve here, what we'd be looking at, you've mentioned here about, so again, you've used that because they didn't do it there. So you'd want to make a point here with a conclusion that, we have used this convention of not showing the resolution because we didn't want to give away the film. So that's really important that you're answering the question. Don't just talk about the work in isolation. You must mention those 3 words. I would put them in bold to draw the examiner's attention to it. Okay, second thing, I would expect you to be re-editing the videos to show me where the equilibrium is in it. So it's just a short video of the equilibrium, or do it as a GIF for each of these 3 things. And again, I would expect the same things being done there, a GIF of each of the 3 sections. Okay. Okay, this is good. Yep, you might want to mention about why they are short. I don't want to reveal too much of the film. Yep, very good. So mention the fact they're a teaser trailer. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. Okay, the other thing you could talk about here under structure is the fact that we did that. Do you remember the timeline? And at 20 seconds, up to when you've got your texture shots. You could talk about texture shots. Again, you could give me a GIF, or just edit the first 20 seconds and export that separately, and then compare that to what we looked at with our key one, which I believe was The Conjuring 2. And then you can talk about where you have your first jump scare, or your first scare, at 20 seconds, and then we've got our kind of sort of building up of a bit of the story, a bit of who the characters are, and then we have our next jump scare at about 40 seconds, and then we've got our montage. So those sections need to be discussed, because you're not giving yourself the opportunity to talk about things like montage and whatnot. Now, I'm not sure if you mention that later on when you talk about editing, but I'm just preempting that now. And again, you could do that as a side-by-side with The Conjuring 2. Okay, this is good. This is very good. This is exactly what I was looking for. Very good. So again, you can talk about used, put that in bold. Very good. Okay, this is nice. Yep. Excellent. Might want to talk about the fact they're isolated locations, they're decaying locations, get some of those words in. So again, have you used it? When you set it in, yeah, so you've used it. You can talk about the fact you've not used the kind of big house, because we don't have that really accessible to us. Okay, remember, don't call them captions, call them titles. This is good. I like the way they're going round and round and round. That's nice. Good. So again, you can talk about you've decided to include. Here we go. So you've got the montage. Yep, very good. This is nice. And you've done the separate sections. This is much better. This is really good. Good. Excellent. Yep. Okay, good. This is nice. I like that. Yep, you've got a range of different stuff going on here. This is nicely laid out as well. Yep, and you talked about used and challenged and all that stuff. I like that. That's really nice. Very nice attention to detail. And you've got a conclusion. Brilliant. Okay, excellent. So we've got the masthead. We've talked about that. Okay, very good. So we need some sort of comparison going on here. That section, by the way, regime was an A. Well done. Very strong. Okay. So I would say with magazine, first thing I would do here is just whack the magazine up and then give me all the influential magazines that you were looking at the top. So again, just take what you've done your research and planning and start off with your title. Yeah, so as you can see, we use the conventions from the following magazines to create our own one. Have that at the start. It's really important that you do that, I think. Put your influences down first. Okay, this is good. Yep, so we can talk about the rereader texts. You've talked about the cover line. Yep. You follow the convention. Okay, I'm not sure about why it's on the white background. That doesn't look good. I think that might be a mistake in the presentation. I'm not sure. Yeah, but I'd probably say you don't want it on white. You just want a close up of that really, and then put them side by side because they're a bit. Do you know what I mean? It's difficult to compare it, or maybe put one there, and then you've got the middle one to compare it to. It's easier for me to see what's going on. Okay, that's good. Yep, okay, so horror genre. Yep. Okay, so you mentioned The Ring and The Exorcist. I should probably see those movies on there as well. Make them smaller, make them side by side with yours at the end. Okay, this section definitely then is lacking. We need to talk about sound effects, so we can have the actual upload of the sound on there. We can have the SoundCloud files, all the work that you did earlier in the vlog, that ought to be on there. So yeah, I think that needs a great deal more work, to be honest with you. Yeah. Okay, so overall it's working towards an A, but I think again this section is kind of holding it back a bit. I think, for example, there hasn't been anything written about sound. There's been no side by side. There's a lot of stuff that you can take from the earlier research and planning that you could bring onto this that needs to be done. There's no discussion of colour grading, which would probably come under this section. I mean, essentially, if this is about the whole of the genre, where's all the examples of the iconography that you've used, the props, the characters, all the stuff that would come under genre. All we've done is really what I can see is got two posters. You mentioned the magic ritual. Got the girls being possessed, but we should probably see that more in there, shouldn't we? And also there's no side by side with this trailer with anything else, so you can't say you've used it because there's no comparison. It's difficult. I say overall as a balance, it's probably going to come out as a B, which is a pity because if it was improved, it would be an A. But again, this section at the moment is definitely holding it back. So in terms of differentiating the grades, it would probably be kind of D minus, maybe even an E plus because it's very thin. I'd probably say an E actually. This section we're looking at it's a bit better. Probably looking at a sort of D plus. This section here very nice. Probably looking at an A. And then this section here very, very good. Lots of work on there as well. Easily the most amount of content. Looking at an A plus. Overall, though, as a group effort, I think it's probably going to boil out to a kind of B minus. Thanks very much.